Alpharetta is constantly topping the charts of best places to live in Georgia, best places to raise a family in Georgia, best suburb to live in, and towns with the best school. But is it really all that it's cracked up to be?
Is it real?
I don't know, David.
Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski with KeyPoint Homes Group, a local real estate agent right here in the Northeast Metro Atlanta area, and I specialize in helping people from all over relocate right here to Georgia. Clearly, Alpharetta is a great place to live if it is getting all of these high rankings, but that does not necessarily mean that it would be a great fit for you and your family. So what do you need to know about Alpharetta if you are considering making a move here? One big thing you're going to notice as you drive around Alpharetta is that there are a ton of huge new construction homes that aren't in neighborhoods, that a builder has come in and purchased an old home on a lot with a great location, bulldozed the old house, and put in a beautiful multi-million-dollar home. Now, these houses come with a hefty price tag because obviously it's a huge, beautiful new home, but they're also, the lots of these houses are being put on come with a huge price tag of their own, like $1 million, $1.5 million just for the lot. I recently talked with a local builder who was showing me lots he had purchased that are within walking distance of downtown Alpharetta, and the price that he had to pay for these lots were shocking, especially since they're just going to bulldoze the house that it's on it. Now, the owners of these older homes know that they are in a highly coveted area. They have a location that many people want, so they are going to make you pay a premium for it. They also know that these big multi-million-dollar homes would rather be surrounded by more of the same style of houses. So they're going to get every penny they can out of that sale, and this definitely plays into the pricing of these new luxury homes. You aren't going to find a lot of new construction options in regards to neighborhoods. It's not like the town of Cumming or Gainesville, where you can find a ton of new build neighborhoods. Instead, you're gonna find options like this gorgeous, nearly 9,000 square feet modern home just a few minutes away from downtown Alpharetta, the Avalon, and all the shopping and amenities you could ever need. Now, obviously, something of this stature is going to come with a much bigger price tag. Like this one, it's currently listed at $3.4 million. But oh man, it is a beautiful home. Now, obviously, not everyone needs a home this massive or can afford the price tag that comes with it. That is one big downfall of Alpharetta. You aren't going to have a ton of new construction neighborhoods whatsoever, especially if you're looking for a home under $1 million. Now, another downside is that these homes are not in a neighborhood. So you might look out your window and see a house that has stuff sitting in the yard, several cars in the driveway, and just overall a little bit more run down. Since you are not in an HOA community, there's nothing you can do about this, so you just have to know that and expect this. Now let's talk more about the price. Alpharetta might not be the place for you simply because of the price point. In October of 2024, the average sales price actually dipped quite low for the Alpharetta area at $769,000. This has been hovering around the $800,000 range for most of the year, but October was a down month across the board here in the Northeast Metro Atlanta area. Obviously, this is quite outside a lot of people's budgets, especially those looking for a starter home. Currently, at the time of filming this video, there are 249 single-family homes listed for sale in Alpharetta, and out of those homes, only 12, yes, 12, are listed for $500,000 or less. All of these homes are over 30 years old and less than 2,000 square feet, and most of them only having 2 bedrooms. So Alpharetta is certainly not a place that I would recommend to first-time homebuyers who are looking for a home to grow their family in, unless you're able to comfortably pay over that $500,000 price point. These are houses that you could pick up and move to an area like Gainesville or Flowery Branch, and they would sell in the $350,000 to $400,000 range. If you are open to a townhome though, you can certainly find more options. Currently, there are 164 townhomes listed for sale in Alpharetta, and 57 of those are $500,000 or less. These are going to be slightly bigger options, but again, the sentiment stays the same, that these same options would be significantly more affordable if you pick these up and move them to a town a little bit further away. So why are home prices so high here? Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Alpharetta ranks so highly because of the highly ranked schools, ample amenities, high-paying job opportunities, and the list goes on. With high demand comes high prices. If you want to hear a bit more about these great qualities, make sure you check out this video. And if you're watching this, I'm curious to know if you've ever visited Alpharetta, do you feel like the price tag is worth it? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of great schools, this is one of the biggest reasons families with school-age kids gravitate to the area of Alpharetta. If you look at the map from greatschools.org, you're going to see that everywhere you look around Alpharetta, the schools all have a high ranking, almost all being 8, 9, or 10. Now, as a former teacher, I can tell you that school rankings are not the only indicator of a good or bad school, and just because they have a high ranking doesn't mean that it's going to be the right fit for your child. But I know that this is a huge metric that a lot of parents take into consideration, and it's impressive to see such high rankings across the board. These big houses come with big property tax bills, and of course, that funnels into school taxes. So there is a lot of local tax dollars going towards these public schools, and clearly that is reflected in the school rankings. Schools are obviously a very personal matter, finding an environment that is right for your child, and many of these schools are full of specialty programs, and they're targeted to advanced learners. Of course, all levels of education are served in these schools, but I've seen comments in some of the mom pages on Facebook that they feel that these schools are great for high-performing kids, and if your child thrives in a more laid-back environment, then some of these schools may be a little overwhelming for your child. So do your research, interview the schools, and again, check in on those mom pages on Facebook. They're a great way to collect and get a wide variety of responses and opinions on these different schools. Another thing to keep in mind with Alpharetta is that it is a highly developed area, which is going to come with a lot of traffic and congestion. Just like any town that is full of great amenities and a high population, there's going to be people in all of these stores and areas, and the roads are going to be busy. Common sense, right? But this is still feedback that I hear quite often about the area. If you're wanting to be close to all of the great amenities but have more space and not feel like you're right on top of your neighbors, you may want to consider the town of Milton, which is just northwest of Alpharetta. This isn't going to be a more affordable option, but you are going to have more space here, and you can find larger lots with more privacy. It's often known for its hobby farms and equestrian community. Now, I know I mentioned earlier that there are a lot of these huge homes that are not in an HOA, so there won't really be anything in place to keep up the appearance of your neighbors' houses. But that is referring to these big custom homes that have been built on any available lot, not in a typical neighborhood setting. If you are looking for a resale home, you are almost going to be exclusively looking at neighborhoods with HOAs. If you were on the hunt for a home, let's say $650,000 to $1.5 million, you are going to be looking at homes in a neighborhood with an HOA, and it is rare to find a lot of options in non-HOA neighborhoods. This is typically something that a lot of people intentionally seek out, especially when they are relocating from another area, because they like to be in a neighborhood surrounded by other families so their kids can make friends and they can acclimate to the area. You'll have great neighborhood amenities like tennis courts, pickleball, pools, and playgrounds, giving you plenty of opportunities to get out and meet your neighbors and enjoy these great amenities during the hot Georgia summers. One thing to note is that a majority of these neighborhoods are older, so these homes are likely going to be anywhere between 15 to 30 years old. Many of them have been through some renovations, but it's not unlikely to find homes that still have the original kitchens or outdated bathrooms, but they are still going to hold their value. I had a client recently who was looking at older homes and had some pretty strict requirements, like the house had to have 3 sides brick and 0 failed window seals, which is pretty difficult to find an older home that has all new windows, mainly just because it's not necessary. They would find homes from the 80s, 90s and say, hey, this house needs updating, so that's going to be reflected in my offer. I had to be the bearer of bad news and say, just because a home is outdated does not mean you can offer really under asking on a home in Alpharetta. These homes hold their value incredibly well, and just because you want to come in and spend more money on the house to update it does not take away from its current home value that the home has because of its great location. There are scenarios and towns where you could account for these needed upgrades and it would significantly impact the price. but that carries a lot less weight in Alpharetta. Obviously, the great schools and great amenities are a big draw to the area, but one of the biggest reasons people end up living in Alpharetta is because of their job. Alpharetta is a huge tech hub with over 700 technology companies having offices in Alpharetta that focus on software development, data analytics, cybersecurity, and lots more. These high-paying tech jobs have brought talented workforce to the area, which has raised the standard of living and made the town very affluent. The median household income here surpasses the state average by a large margin, making Alpharetta stand out as one of the wealthiest cities in Georgia. This affluence is reflected in the city's development with upscale shopping centers, gourmet dining, great luxury housing developments, and great schools becoming very important features of the area because of the money these jobs have brought in. Basically, Alpharetta is pretty bougie compared to a lot of other towns here in the Northeast Metro. So let me know what you think. Would you agree with my bougie statement? Would you consider making a move to Alpharetta? If you are, I want to be your real estate agent. You can connect me by clicking the link in the comment below. And if you're still trying to determine which part of the North Metro would be the best fit for you, make sure you check out this video next.